Walt Disney's 1950 animated film Cinderella is the story of the daughter of a caring, wealthy father in a little kingdom who wants to make a new life for his daughter, remarrying, giving Cinderella a stepmother and two stepsisters. After her father tragically passes away, the true nature of her stepmother, Lady Tremaine, and two stepsisters, Gisela and Anastasia, are revealed, as Cinderella is abused, humiliated, and eventually becomes a servant or scullion in her own home. When the king is looking for a suitable partner for his son, the prince, to marry and have children, he invites every eligible maiden in the kingdom to a ball. Once Cinderella overcomes humiliation from her stepmother and stepsisters, she attends the ball after having her wishes granted by her fairy godmother and dances with the prince at the ball. The prince becomes interested in Cinderella but is unable to find her, except for her glass slipper, which she left behind. After searching all the maidens in the kingdom, the duke eventually finds out who the glass slipper belongs to, and the prince marries Cinderella. They live happily ever after. I believe the story of Cinderella is one of faith, that through faith and enduring hardship, we are able to find our dream. The origins of the story of Cinderella can be dated back to centuries as a folktale in various countries and various continents, as a story of a daughter, stepmother, two stepsisters, and a king curious about a shoe left behind at a celebration which fits no one, and eventually is reunited with the daughter whom it fits. In this animated film version of Cinderella, it was derived from the original classic by French author Charles Perrault in 1697, and before that, Italian author Giambattista Basile in 1634. The name Cinderella derives from or stands for ash or cinder. The idea is that servants or scullions in this time were covered in ash from cleaning work and from also living in cold basements, keeping warm by the fireplace. In Charles Perrault's version, the additions to the story include the pumpkin, the fairy godmother, and the glass slippers, which Walt Disney has portrayed. In discussing and analysing Cinderella, I wonder that in a world where representations are supposedly moving in a better direction, is the character of Cinderella in 1950 any less empowering than of any other characters represented in films or other media today? In Cinderella, she's portrayed throughout the film as a humble and abiding servant in her own household, living by faith. This is represented in her relationship to her stepmother and stepsisters by constantly giving in to their demands, such as cleaning, cooking, and other chores. In this portrayal of Cinderella, I think the story is less about a prince who saves the day and more about a story of a young woman who is able to endure and overcome hardship through faith and humbleness and find her dream of happiness in the end. Similar to what she's singing about in the beginning of the story. After all, it's Cinderella who ends the night early after dancing with the prince at the ball, even though the reason is because the spell that was put on by the fairy godmother was about to finish at midnight. They momentarily sing "So This Is Love," which seems to signify that this was a spontaneous moment of love they feel for each other. The evil type characters of the film, such as Lady Tremaine, Gisela, Anastasia, and Lucifer the cat, all end up losing to the triumph of the more gentle and kind characters of the film. Cinderella, the mice, such as Jack and Gus, the birds, Bruno the dog, the horse Major, the king, the prince, the duke, and other servants in the kingdom. The prince is represented as more of an adventurous son to his father, the king. Much of the story outside of Cinderella herself is driven by the king, who only wants for his son, the prince, to settle down and give him grandchildren. He's portrayed as more of an older father who wants more joy in his life by taking on the role of a grandfather, rather than as a king who wants to continue the royal line. I believe this is represented in the way that he's dreaming of having grandchildren in his life, only to be awoken to find out it's not a reality. In two quotes in regards to the moral of Cinderella by Charles Perrault, the first reads, "Beauty in a woman is a rare treasure that will always be admired. Graciousness, however, is priceless and of even greater value. This is what Cinderella's godmother gave to her when she taught her to behave like a queen. Young women, in the winning of a heart, graciousness is more important than a beautiful hairdo. It is a true gift of the fairies. Without it, nothing is possible. With it, one can do anything." And the other quote, "Without doubt, it is a great advantage to have intelligence, courage, good breeding, and common sense. These and similar talents come only from heaven, and it is good to have them. However, even these may fail to bring you success without the blessing of a godfather or a godmother." In Cinderella's relation to the Bible, it appears true that Cinderella is similar to a bridesmaid who's prepared oil for her lamp, so she's ready to meet the bridegroom. And the stepsisters are similar to the foolish bridesmaids who ask those who have prepared the oil if they can have some of theirs because they don't have any. But similarly, the stepsisters aren't ready and are locked out. Also, in relation to the story's influence from the Bible, reflecting on Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, it reads, "God blesses those who realize their need for him, for the kingdom of heaven is given to them. God blesses those who mourn, for they will be comforted. God blesses those who are gentle and lowly, for the whole earth belongs to them. God blesses those who are hungry and thirsty for justice, for they will receive it in full. God blesses those who are merciful, for they will be shown mercy. God blesses those whose hearts are pure, for they will see God. God blesses those who work for peace, for they will be called the children of God. God blesses those who are persecuted because they live for God, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. In terms of how Cinderella is portrayed, she appears to be a loyal servant of God more than anything else, I believe. And through this belief and faith, she's able to find her love and live her dream happily ever after. In the context of the film's influence and Cinderella finding her dream, I feel that she's portrayed as an empowering character even on today's standards. Although roles could be seen as more appealing and empowering, such as the action expertise of Charlie's Angels or the detective work of Nancy Drew stories, various Nancy Drew stories, I still believe that a character being able to realize and find their dreams in the end is great to see and especially empowering. For through Cinderella's character of gentleness and living humbly and lowly, the earth or this world in this regard truly belongs to her, and although she is persecuted for her faith, beauty and goodwill, the kingdom in the sense truly belongs to her. Thanks for watching.